So what is going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another zombies video where today we are taking a look at the in-depth version of the Call of Duty Zombies Chronicles trailer. If you've already seen this, it's only about 2 minutes long, but there is so much hidden within it that if you actually don't slow it down and don't look at it carefully, there's so much in this trailer that you can miss that is very interesting story-wise. So today, that's what we're going to take a look at. As always, if you enjoyed the video, a like rating would be very much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed for more zombies videos on the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So like I said, this is a very interesting trailer, obviously to show off and present the maps that we are getting in Zombies Chronicles, but it starts off in a really interesting way. As you see, we have Samantha in the house, like bowing down in front of the window with the candles around her lit. Kind of looks like she is in this evil position, doing something satanic, kind of like worshipping someone, especially with the candles around her and the way it looks like she's bowing her head. It looks weird. It kind of looks like Samantha's doing something evil. As we come back to this later on in the trailer, we see as we move on, she's actually looking down through a snow globe, and as she looks through it, as she shakes the snow globe around the screen, as we get in here, you will start to see a green mist emitting off this snow globe, and as we go through it, this green mist is now emitting from around the screen. We move on to our first map, which is Verrucht, obviously looking scary as hell. Not really any secrets in here apart from the gobblegum machine, which we know is returning. We then transition onto our next map, which is Nakda and Toten. Again, another map that is returning in Zombies Chronicles. As we keep moving and we have this green mist on the screen, the next map that we transition to is Shino-Numa, the third World at More map that we are getting in this DLC 5 pack. As we come through here, we come to our first secret in the trailer. Now, you will notice all throughout this trailer, there are hidden images that are only on screen for like a second. So watching this normally, you are guaranteed to miss at least some of them. But as you see, our first set of images are of the Hellhounds. This is relevant because the Hellhounds were the first boss type creature, like a side type creature apart from the zombies that we saw in Zombies. The Hellhounds were the first other creatures we had in Zombies, and this was also the first map that we saw them in, so I guess it's only right that they are on the Shino-Numa part of the trailer. As we carry on here, we come over to Kino der Toten. Once again, we get some secret hidden images, this time of the Nova 6 crawlers. Again, relevant because the Nova crawlers were first seen in Kino der Toten. Obviously, we have the jumping jacks in Die Rise and the teleporting ones on Moon, but the Nova 6 crawlers specifically were first seen in Kino der Toten, and we can guarantee that they are going to be coming back. Everything else in the theatre looks the same. Again, a few seconds later, we get some more images of the Nova 6 crawlers. Then as we move on through Kino der Toten, through to the teleporter, we are transferred over to Samantha's room. Now, this is relevant because we know in Kino der Toten, when you teleport, one of the places you can end up is in Samantha's bedroom, either the evil version or her normal version. You can also get teleported to Verrucht, 5 and a few other places as well. But Samantha's bedroom is one place that you can end up when you teleport in Kino der Toten before you get to the Pack-a-Punch. Now, one thing I want to point out is, once again, we have this green mist around the screen that is following us wherever we go. And actually notice, when our camera goes past these candles, the flame actually dies out. And I was thinking, could this link to this green mist around the camera? Maybe. Are we actually someone? Are we looking through the eyes of one of our characters in Zombies? Maybe the Shadow Man, maybe Dr. Monty. Since the flames go out when the camera zooms past the candles, and we have kind of like this dark, green, mysterious mist around the camera, and you usually link that to the Apothecans, specifically the Margwar, who has a green mist emitting off him. Are we possibly an Apothecan? More than likely, the Shadow Man, who is the leader. Maybe the reason why the flame burnt out is because of the dark presence that the Shadow Man holds. Is this a representation of him, that he turns out the lights and likes to travel in the shadows? You could also say that is the reason why the camera is kind of floating about everywhere. As we know, the Shadow Man doesn't walk about, he floats. As we see in the end, or should I say the beginning of the Revelations trailer, he hovers above the ground. Could this be a representation of the Shadow Man hovering throughout the maps? I don't know, that's just a little thought. Obviously it could be someone else, or maybe it's just the camera with a cool effect. But as we carry on through the trailer, we come to more images, this time of zombies, which are really weird. They're very difficult to make out. This one here, to me, I either thought it was transitioning onto another image, or this kind of looks like the Shadow Man with his like suit on and his arms and his tentacle face, but in obviously almost black and white, just without colour. We then come to more images, we've got more zombies. These ones don't really make too much sense, so they're not really clear, so there's nothing we can actually really get from these. But anyway, as we move on, we have the mystery box opening. Once again, notice the candle on the right there actually goes out, just like the other one did, so could that be a representation of the darkness in Samantha's room? As we move on, just before everything on that table is about to get knocked over, we have some more images yet again of zombies. I mean, I don't really get the point of these and why they're showing us all of these zombies. They're pretty much all the same unless there's some secret hidden meaning within here. We don't know. But anyway, so getting back to this table, once again, we have the candle or the little lantern on the table. As we go past it, you will see it again, just like the others, goes out. Everything on this table gets knocked over. The rocket wobbles, the chessboard falls. And then as we move on here and go under Samantha's bed, we see we have the shadow of the Panzer Soldat. That on the right there kind of looks like a staff, one of the elemental staffs. We have the helper guy there, I can't remember his actual name, and then we come on, we get another shot of some zombies, and then as we move on, all of these toys that Samantha is playing with falls over, and we zoom in to Samantha playing with these toys of our characters. Notice that as the camera comes in, this also means that this green mist follows her as well, or is attracted to her, and also notice that the toys that Samantha is playing with are all built up. Just remember that they're all fixed and all put together. Just keep that in your mind as we come to the end of the trailer. So as we go back into the snow globe, we transition onto another map. This time we have Origins. Pretty freaking cool looking, if you ask me. I'm so excited to see what the HD versions actually look like. Again, we have this mist following us everywhere we go. We move on to the next map, which is Moon. We see some more hidden images of yet again zombies. Kind of looks like flames are surrounding them. We have some cool looking zombies here that are totally wrecked. Their faces are half destroyed with bullets planted in them. We carry on with Moon. Once again, the green mist. This has got to be a character, right? We've got to be looking through someone's eyes. As we move on to Shangri-La, we get another look of zombies on fire. Is this possibly linking to the napalm zombie, which as we know is one of the special zombies that are going to be returning along with the Shrieker to Shangri-La. We carry on moving through this map, probably not one of my favorite, but definitely a beautiful looking map. We see another image of a zombie. Is this the napalm zombie? I don't know, it kind of looks a little bit similar. Then we have a bunch of Shrieker zombies running across the bridge, which is weird when usually you can only get one spawning in at a time, I believe. So that's weird, but anyway, we transaction over to Ascension, where again we have images of more zombies. Whether there's a hidden message within here or whether these just random images that are just to fill in, I'm not sure. But take a look at the effects that we get for Ascension. We have kind of like this filter that comes on our screen, and then everything in Ascension, the whole screen starts to shake. I was initially thinking that maybe this is just to represent one of the rockets taking off for the Pack-a-Punch. As we continue, we get more images of zombies. This one is freaking scary. I've not seen anything like that before. That one's freaking cool. The next one is a skull that seems to be half buried in the earth. There's something on the right there. Kind of looks like a freaking mallet with nails coming out of it or something. Was that how this person was killed? I don't know, but there's the skull of someone, which is weird. And then the next one is a zombie and a hellhound. I mean, hellhounds aren't on Ascension. We have the monkeys, so that one doesn't really have any relation. We move on again. The screen shakes. We have a Panzer. I believe this is the Panzer from Der Eisen Drache. And then we have an image of another zombie, and then another zombie again, which looks totally wrecked with bullets all over his head. More screen shaking from Ascension, more images of dead zombies and skulls, but this is interesting. You'll see more images of this later on, but we have this dark, black, disfigured thing. What the hell even is this? This really reminds me of like the Frozen Forest. If you go all the way back to the Frozen Forest when we all thought that was a big part of the zombie storyline, and there's even some speculation right now as to, you know, whatever happened to this frozen forest that we see in the zombies loading screen. We kind of saw a bit of this in the campaign. It's kind of like a place that you go to, it's life after death, the place in between. But we never really saw that implemented into the actual zombie storyline. So what is this? It kind of reminds me of the Shadow Man a little bit, with tentacles everywhere. Is this another version of him? As we know, he can manipulate people and change his form to become whatever he basically wants. Anyway, more images of Ascension shaking. We have skulls, dead people, all this gory stuff, and zombies, the hellhounds. We see more of this dark tentacle-like figured character. Is this a tree, or is this someone? You guys can let me know what you think about it down in the comment section below. I'm thinking that maybe whatever this shadow thing is, whatever this tainted darkness is, possibly it is the same thing that is following us around through these maps. This green mist emitting, maybe it is off this dark figure. Now, as we progress through the trailer, coming to the end, back into Samantha's bedroom, we see she puts the globe down. All around it, we still have that green glowing mist. And then she looks towards the camera, and as she looks at us, she stands up and she disappears. As soon as she disappears, the door to the bedroom opens, and another version of Samantha walks in. You'll notice on the floor that this time, as I said earlier, the figures were built, but here they're not. Dempsey's leg is off, Richtofen's head isn't attached. These toys are not put together as they were earlier in the trailer. Samantha walks into the bedroom, realizes the window is open, goes to shut it, and as she does, we get the end. But that end part is so interesting. First off, if we go back, as Samantha puts down this globe, she looks right at our camera. It's almost as if she knows that another version of her is about to walk in, or as if she knows she's about to disappear or go somewhere. And she stands up and then she's gone. Then another version of her walks in the room. Notice that the version of her that disappears has the green mist surrounding the screen, but then when the other version of her walks in, the newer version, that green mist is totally gone. And this takes me back all the way to Zetsubou no Shima, where if you remember in a cipher, Dr. Monty says that he came knocking on the door to the house to take Max's daughter, Samantha, away. He took her away, and then as time passed by, he did something with her and then brought her back to the house. I was thinking maybe that is the process what we are seeing here. We know from the storyline that we just got a few days ago, the reason why Dr. Monty needed to take Samantha Maxis away from the house is because she was infected by the evil. Since Samantha had been trapped in the ether for so long, the dark ether began to infect Samantha's mind. And as we know, when that happens, whatever it infects turns evil. It happened to Maxis and Buried when he told our transit crew they were doomed. It happened to Richtofen when he touched the MPD, which is a gateway to Argotha. And now it started to happen to Samantha when she was trapped there in Origins. As we know, Dr. Monty took her, brought her to the house, but that version of her that he brought to this house was still tainted by darkness. Her mind was already beginning to turn by the dark ether. And so, as we know, Dr. Monty came knocking on Max's house. He took Samantha away, he cleansed her, he got rid of the dark ether from infecting her mind, and then brought a different version of her back to the house. A version that was pure and not infected. So I'm thinking maybe that's what we're seeing in this cutscene. This green mist around Samantha is the dark ether. It's infecting all of what she sees, infecting her mind as we've been traveling through her mind through these maps. This is the infected version of Samantha, and what we see when she disappears is Dr. Monty, this godly figure, taking her away, and then moments later we see a cleansed version of her walk through the house. We then see she realizes the window is open and she closes it. As we know in the Origins cutscene, Maxis tells the children to make sure the windows are locked before they come down to the basement. He tells them to make sure the windows are locked for a reason, and that reason is to keep them safe, to stop anything unwanted from entering the house. And that is my explanation of this trailer. There's so many hidden things within here, and also a lot of people were saying actually you can hear a slight whisper of mumbling that doesn't make sense. But when you play this trailer backwards, although it's really difficult to make out what is being said, there is a slight whisper in the background. I personally can't make out what this says. If you can let me know in the comment section below. But when you reverse this audio, a lot of people think it says, "Samantha, please help me. I'm hiding, but dying in the theatre. Who this voice is, we don't know. The theatre usually links to Kino der Toten. This quote's telling us, if this is what it actually says, that someone's hiding in the theatre and is dying and wants Samantha to help them. I remember back in Kino der Toten, there is a box with someone trapped in there. Someone is trapped in a box in Kino der Toten. It's interesting. Maybe that could be a link. Maybe that's not what it says. Like I said, it's really difficult to make out. But there you go. Hopefully if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like rating if you haven't already. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel for more zombies videos. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, and of course I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.